On this episode of Mortal Sportsman, we talk about the top 5 alien athletes. We'll also dive back into beejs fantasy team and an update on each division in the NFL, as well as a word association game we like to call the outlier. That and more on Mortal Sportsman. All right.
And we're back.
We're back. We're mortal.
Too big. Too big.
Wow. All right, so for the listeners out there who might have gotten through a few episodes, they always take the shot of the Elijah Craig before every episode, and the bottle had finally gotten kind of down towards the end, so we decided to make him a little more stiff tonight. How you doing?
I'm good.
By the way, we usually do this on empty stomachs right after work.
Oh, yeah.
We work our
definitely.
full-time job. So
I have not had anything to eat today.
All righty.
Whew.
Feeling quite mortal.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very mortal right now.
So, back for another epi. Got some good stuff. We're going to do a quick, a game a little later on where we summarize each division in the NFL by a simple phrase that kind of encapsulates the entire division, and there's usually one outlier. Don't have a name for it yet, so if you got any good suggestions, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll call it the outlier game, I guess, for now. But,
sure.
We'll hit up beejs fantasy team.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Glad
not
it's not
good.
Thursday.
Yeah, better check that, buddy. There's quite a few buys lining up. Week 7 bye was awful. No Bills, no Eagles. How'd you do there?
Fucking got destroyed by the number one guy in the league.
Yeah.
Number 1 versus number 2, and all of my best players were on bye.
Ouch.
I was pissed.
That was tough. No Bills, no Eagles.
But let's go playoffs. See that
Yeah.
motherfucker again.
You'll see him again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we see you again. What else? We got a couple other stories that kind of caught our eye that we'll lead with, and then, but yeah, they're off and running.
We're going to start off with
The aliens?
the out of this world shit, though, right?
I mean, that is kind of the theme of our podcast.
It is, I believe.
We like to focus our efforts of bringing you the alien stories of everything.
Yeah.
And for some reason, recently, there's a lot of athletes and broadcasters bringing it up.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch on that.
Yeah. First one came a few weeks back, beginning of October, about Victor Wembanyama.
That's a great name.
You think?
Wembanyama?
I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. I would call him Vicky Dubs.
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. 7'4", out of France.
That's a workout for the jaw, bro. 7'4"?
He's 7'4".
Out of France.
That's a workout for the knees.
From France.
Yep. He's a mold-breaking big, as they say it. The big or the littles in basketball. We don't cover basketball very much on this show.
I don't understand what you're talking
we'll probably might get into it when it gets closer to the playoffs, or if there's some
Finals, maybe.
crazy stories that people actually, don't talk about. Good luck
Yeah.
on mainstream media. That's all they fucking talk about. But this came out earlier in the month, and LeBron himself said, everybody's been a unicorn over the last few years. Well, he's more like an alien.
Damn.
No one's ever seen anyone as tall as he is, but it's fluid and as graceful as he is on the floor. So he's like a shooter, a dribbler, and he's 7'4". It's like a cheat code, basically.
The problem that I have with that whole statement is the man it's coming from.
Yeah, I know you hate LeBron.
I fucking hate that.
I try not to bring it up. I could have said an NBA star
Yeah,
who's
I would've
global
been like,
and is
that's
connected to
pretty cool.
China. And you'd be like, oh, I don't know, that could be anybody. So
The entire league, goddamn.
So he just said it, and it brought me, started to make me think, and I was like, okay, like maybe, who athlete would you say would be an alien? It made me think that like immediately. And I was like, LeBron, he's too human. Mm-hmm. So we've come up with a top 5 list of who we.
How do you want to do this? You go 5 with your 5. I'll go with my number 5, and then we'll go 4, 4, 3, 3. Or you want to list the whole 5?
I think we should do the separate lists. Like
you want to do your whole list, and then I'll do my whole list.
Yeah, since I threw it on you,
Okay.
you can go first, or I could go first.
All right, I'm going to let you know that this list is strictly from my memory of when times that I said this fucking guy is just unreal.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 5 for me is Usain Bolt. That motherfucker can just run like a goddamn cheetah. Like, what kind of bone structure does that motherfucker have?
I don't want to give it away because we said we wouldn't do this, but Usain Bolt was literally my fucking 5th guy on the list.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes. Because
That's insane.
Yeah, that's weird. We did not, I swear we did not confer to this at all.
Did not discuss our list at all.
You wrote yours like 5 minutes before the episode, and I
Correct.
had mine on my phone from like yesterday or whatever. But that's insane, yes.
That's insane, all right.
It's true. And again, I think like the bone structure of people is one thing to look at, or just the physical impossibleness of what they do. And obviously we're just none of this should be taken as serious or fact.
Oh, hell
because we're
no.
literally coming up with people who could be aliens.
Yeah.
It was Usain Bolt. Immediately I was like, he has to be in the top 5.
He has to be,
Has
right?
to be. Fastest human alive.
All right, so...
Human, I say. Could be humanoid. Never know.
And you never know.
He's so fast.
Lizard, you never know.
Yeah.
So my number 4, Michael Phelps. Mm-hmm. Most winningest man in the world.
Yeah.
Wingspan that's fucking taller than he is. That's what the fuck? You're a pterodactyl.
Most decorated
motherfucker.
Olympic athlete of all time.
Yeah.
Shatters records.
Smoking the herb like a motherfucker, too.
Yeah, got huge lung capacity. Also, the amount of food he eats, like during the day. Ever seen his diet?
My coworker was telling me, because I was telling my coworker about this list, and I was
Yeah.
telling him my 5, and he was saying, like, well, are these good 5? He was like, bro, Michael Phelps, when he was training, would eat like 3,500 calories a day.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Is it 3,500 or 35,000? I've heard conflicting reports. It's just like it's way more than any of the normal human beings would be able to firstly intake and not be completely out of shape. Like, I'm sure people do intake that much calories a day, but they don't look like Michael Phelps, and they're not winning like 26 fucking gold medals.
Hell no.
Yeah. That is good though, because that is like it's inhuman to think about like how he swims and the way he's shaped too as well. But
Yeah.
might get back into that one later too.
All right, so now I go towards fighting, because that's what I know.
Nice. I did not factor this into my list, just to let you know. So that's good.
But that's where I went, is because those are who I know. Mm-hmm. Number 3, I'm coming in with Mike Tyson, just because when he gets in his fighting zone, he is a fucking animal.
Maybe the most, besides like a Muhammad Ali, who is like just put up there just because he was who he was, an absolute immortal.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's got to be the other most famous boxer in the history of boxing.
I mean, he bit a fucking dude's ear off.
I remember that. I was very, very young when that happened, but I remember being in a room with like adults and then everyone's like, he bit his ear off. And we were like, everyone's like, what? And as a child, you're watching, you're like, oh my God. And you'd see him and he looked evil.
Oh yeah.
Like he was like literally was eating it. Like it wasn't just he bit it off, but like he was like wanted to chew on it a little bit.
Yeah, he wanted to chew on that thing like beef jerky.
Yeah. That's good though. Yeah. Iron Mike.
Like it. My number 2 spot is kind of out there, but I think you'll agree with me once I say it. Mm-hmm. Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
the
monster.
Gypsy
He'd
King.
He'd be from like a giant planet.
Yeah, so when I say that these are coming back from things where I said this guy is just not human, this is definitely from the Deontay Wilder fight. That motherfucker was knocked the fuck out. And I don't know if he's Alien or Frankenstein's monster, because that dude just popped the fuck up.
He's like the Mountain.
He fucking popped up like the Undertaker, bro.
Yeah.
Just laid out, just bink, I'm up, let's go.
Yep.
And then knocked him the fuck out.
Built different.
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy.
Different.
Crazy.
That's the whole thing about I think.
And he's a Gypsy King. I don't even know how he has a Twitter account. How does he hold a fucking phone long enough? He's a gypsy.
Wait, he's a gypsy?
He's the Gypsy King, bro.
I did not know that about him. Might like him even more.
He's a Gypsy King that sits on a throne. Doesn't that take away from everything that gypsies are? Just saying.
Gypsy with an asterisk.
Yeah.
Stands for apparently the crown and the throne that he sits on. 'Cause he's not really a gypsy.
Yeah. All right.
Gypsy King, Tyson
Gypsy
Fury,
King.
Definitely an alien. Probably the best one. Definitely an alien.
And my number 1 pick is proven to be Alien.
Wait, did you skip 2?
No, that was my number 2.
That was 2?
That was number 2. My number 1 is proven to be Alien because doctors have actually studied him, and he is not like any other fucking human in this world.
Oh, boy.
His name is Yoel Romero. Now, if you look up pictures of
Fighter?
Yoel Romero, he is a used to be a UFC fighter. I think he's in Bellator now. Mm-hmm. But this dude has shoulders upon shoulders. He is a magnificent human being. Just through and through, just a sculpture of a fucking guy. And literally people have studied him because he has ligaments that you shouldn't have. He has chromosomes that you shouldn't have or some bullshit. I don't know the actual story.
Wow.
Look it up.
Yes, look it up.
But this dude is not human.
What's his name again? Because
Yoel Romero. It's
Yoel.
Yoel Romero.
Romero. Yeah. That, it's crazy because like athletics brings this shit out in people, and I think when you went to the fighting stance of it, because I did, my list is all pretty much just either team or individual sports outside of fighting. It's a great point because that's also getting huge. And the fact that this guy has been like, the doctors are studying him, he's got extra chromosomes, he's got fucking extra ligaments and shit like that.
Don't quote me on all that shit, but he's definitely, I know for a fact he's got extra something in him because it was discussed and doctors have studied him.
Wow.
And he is different than every single other human being in this world.
Literally built different.
Literally built different.
Yeah. All right, so we can go into my list, I guess, if you want.
That was my list. What do you think? What did you think of my list?
So before we get to my list, I like it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had Usain Bolt at 5.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that we had him literally.
That's
at the same
fucking
exact
crazy.
spot. I want to give it away. I mean, had your other boy in there too as well.
Mr. Phelps.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean,
when I saw your face, I figured. I was like,
like,
damn, we got 2 for 2
again. But I think when it all comes down to is like these people just are different. You can see it. Anyone, even the average sports fan who doesn't really watch. I mean, because how often does anyone watch Olympic swimming? Hardly ever. Maybe before Michael Phelps. I mean, they still do because USA kicks ass in this country, but.
Nah, I don't watch.
No one
the
really
only
watch
time I watched swimming was when that motherfucker was swimming.
When Michael Phelps was swimming.
Fucking A.
Every
single time he was breaking fucking records.
There's just
every
time.
Yeah. Every time.
Every time
he was just breaking his own goddamn records.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. And then he retired. It was perfect.
The girl swimmer, Ledecky, I think her name is. She's the one that's doing it now.
The guy or the girl?
No, not that one. Not that one. I wouldn't even go down that path.
All right.
At least
like I said, I'm trying to say as many things so we can get canceled, bro.
You never fail at that. Neither do I. No, Ledecky was the one that is right now currently like breaking a bunch of women's records. She's also built different. Like I could have my own list of female athletes. I actually had a couple on the honorable
Maybe
mentions.
That'll be our next mortal is fucking top 5 alien women.
Female athletes. I had a few, so we originally put the list at 10. I was like, well, let's just cut it to 5.
Yeah. And
then I had a couple women on there, like the honorable mentions, and I was like, all right, we should just do like a women's one too as well. Yeah, so we'll do a women's one. But Caitlin Ledecky, like, is almost like the
always like the women's point of view.
They could be from some aquatic galaxy where like the smart humanoids live underwater. And that's how they walk to work,
okay.
Or what I mean.
Hold on. So funny you say that. Turns out I don't know who was talking about it, but I found out that there is a tribe of people live on the water.
On the water?
On the water.
Like where? Here?
No, in Indonesia or somewhere around there in the nice waters.
Oh, they walk on the water?
No, they live on the water. Like stilt houses kind of thing, like in the water.
Yeah.
Hunt all their food in the water. Can hold their breath for like forever. They are also built different.
Very
different.
You'd think that there'd be some Olympic swimmers coming out of there, though.
You would think, but they don't interact with people.
But
there are people on this planet that are just built different.
Yep.
And so often these people just show up in sporting events.
Yeah.
And we're all like, holy fuck, look at this guy.
Look at that.
But in some of these places, it's normal everyday life. It's
very true.
It's crazy.
Very true. I think that also like goes back to like why Usain Bolt, like if he is human, we think he could be an alien, but he's most likely human. Why it goes back to like how in Jamaica it's like they're built differently to withstand like the heat, to withstand like running away from certain things. Like in Africa is the same way. Why the marathon runners are built different from Kenya, because their ancestors were built running away from predators. Like they're built the way that you are for the reason that you are. People coming out of the northern countries of like Russia or like some Eastern European countries, they're built like stronger, tougher, because that's how you had to be in order to survival of the fittest. Interested to see what type of athletes come out of America in the next 30 years.
Well, you're seeing them now with fucking Tua and all of the fucking concussions.
Hawaiians, though, I have to say that Hawaiians are really good at football now because they're huge. They're big football players, and they're big like like traditional players. They have a lot of structure. They have that like built in, very religious. Yeah. Like this is like that's why they're amazing football players. You're gonna see a ton of even more like great football players coming out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Besides the Deep South, where there's a lot of obviously football is like a second religion to only Christ down there. The same things happening in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know. Tua's just the beginning, man.
Yeah, but still, we're raising the second class male.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, 20, 30 years ago, I saw bloody knuckles taped up, fucking just going to town during these Super Bowls. Oh, now these motherfuckers are just hitting their heads on the turf and like, I got a concussion. I understand that CTE is a real thing.
It was bad back then too. Yeah,
and I understand that concussions are really fucking bad. I understand all that shit. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, how frail are you fucking like the Tua that actually got him knocked out of the second game? He should have been knocked out of the first game.
Well, the motherfucker stumbled. Played that second game.
He shouldn't have been in that one. No.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have come back to the Bills game because that motherfucker was concussed. He stumbled. I understand that.
Yeah.
But the hit that he took, where he just dink, it was a little hit to the back of the head. Granted, he was already concussed.
The melon was fresh.
Yes, I understand that he was already concussed, but the first hit wasn't that bad either.
Yeah,
both times he hit his head on the turf, it wasn't another helmet hitting his head. So the force was all in his neck. So like, what kind of frail ass men are we fucking bringing to the field?
This is a Dolphins fan saying this, by the way. I just want to point that out.
I am a huge
self-described Dolphins fan.
Yes.
And you want Tua to succeed for your team.
I do. I love Tua, to be honest. I think he's going to be a wild man, and I fucking love it. I love Fitzpatrick, and he was a fucking wild man. I think Tua is just going to be like the next Dan Marino because he's getting it out of there fucking quick, and he's a fucking wild man. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
But he's fucking frail.
He's a little, I
mean, next thing you know, he's going to break his fucking wrist or some bullshit.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Tua does not belong on the top 10 or the top 5 alien list.
Fuck
he's just not really built.
He's not built. He's not built different.
I'll keep.
Or if he is built different, he's built squishier.
Well, he's perfect. He's on the fish.
What a dick!
Fucking squish the fish. Nah, so I will say that one thing before I get onto my top 5, but for the difference between like the modern NFL and the past NFL and how guys were taking way worse hits back in the day. I mean, there's some videos that you watch from like people used to die. Like fucking in the 20s and 30s.
You ever see the first video of Tom Brady getting laid the fuck out?
Oh yeah, where he gets taken his head off by I think it's Nate Clemens.
Yeah.
He just destroyed. I mean, you see that clip and you think if that happened to Tom Brady now, they would probably arrest Nate Clemens at the fucking stadium.
Yeah, that'd be attempted murder.
You're done.
Right there.
You're done
attempted
for the year.
Murder,
you're done for the year.
You're done for the year and you're in jail.
Want to know what's funny about that clip though?
What's that?
Going back onto your point, built different. Spoiler alert: Tom Brady
sucks.
Currently does suck. Currently going through a divorce from his witch wife who had the spell on him the whole time. But no, he's not on my list of aliens. He's fucking strange. He probably talks to him. He probably has a deal with them separately now. That Giselle's out of the picture.
With demons, bro.
Yeah, that's right. We go to the demons.
Yeah.
He's got to deal with that. He's got to kind of have his own kind of thing running through there. Yeah. Demons could be aliens too. Either or. But that video of his head getting taken off by Nate Clemens.
Yeah.
If you watch it, like today, I feel like that would almost kill somebody, right? Like they'd be down, the quarterback would be down. Like there's been quarterbacks that have taken worse hits, like Joe Flacco or like Tua, And they
Dan
and you
Marino
see them. They
took
do that
huge
fencing.
hits.
They do the fencing position with their fingers.
Yeah,
and
never seen that before this season. To be honest,
Tom Brady got right up.
Yeah,
right up after he got hit and clapped and like had his helmet knocked off.
Yeah,
got right up, clapped. Player in his team hands him the helmet. He puts it back on.
Gets back out there.
Probably had a concussion. How did he get right up? But I think that the players now are so much stronger, and even though back then they hit harder with mostly pads, it was all pads. Now they take the pads down thinking it's getting rid of the hitting, but they can just launch their completely different and faster. They're like faster than ever now.
Well,
now
but also we are told that with this lighter pad, because, I get more movement, I can catch the ball better, I can block the lineman better because I got all this movement with the lighter pad. It's also supposed to be like carbon fiber, and I won't get hurt anymore.
Yeah,
and then
people getting hurt,
or every fucking year. Oh, we upgraded the helmet so that there's more padding in the back of the head, and then Tua goes down for the first time and stumbles. Oh wait, maybe our helmets are fucking defective. Yeah. Maybe let's go back fucking 10 years and go to those fucking helmets. First of all, I think those helmets were fucking cooler. Second of all, they weren't making people dead.
Revolutions.
Yeah.
Actually, before the revolutions, like the Schuts. I can't remember what kid.
Okay, I don't know the fucking names of the goddamn helmets. I don't know what the fuck kind of alien you are.
Yeah.
But what the fuck?
Just a diehard football fan who knows too much about history.
What the fuck? This guy comes out with the name of the goddamn helmets. All right. What's your top 5? Let's get back into that.
Only reason I know the names of helmets because of Madden, create a player. You always got to make your own helmet when you created the player. But anyway.
Oh, all right. That makes sense.
So same boat was number 5. That was with you. We got into that a little bit. Josh Allen is number 4.
See, I almost put him on there, but I knew he was going to be on your list, so I couldn't put him on there.
Of course. So in the meantime, between the story coming out about LeBron James calling Vicky Dubs an alien, there was a football game that some people watched, just a few, 25 million to be exact.
I was going to say 20 billion.
25 million, the most watched Week 6 game in the last 15 years. In case you were living under a rock, it was the Bills versus Chiefs game in Kansas City. Bills won. Josh Allen once again jumped over another human being. Maybe his best hurdle yet, though.
That was pretty badass hurdle. But
we watched it together. We watched it together that game. It was like the first game we watched really together in a long time.
Yes.
And we said exactly what 25 million other people said at the exact same time. Oh!
Yeah, and then...
I hope I didn't make it go too high.
That's fine. I can edit that out. It's fine. But also, we acknowledged that as soon as it happened, it was going to blow up as a meme. As soon as you saw his leg go up, we were like, "Oh, there's the meme."
I mean, it's so weird, and actually, when you go back and listen to the broadcast, because that's kind of where I was getting to with the point, especially before I could even always argue that Josh Allen is an alien. Tony Romo and Jim Nantz did the game. Number 1 CBS crew, great guys. I honestly think they're the best broadcasters in football.
I love Tony Romo.
I love Romo. I love Nantz. He's classic. That voice is perfect. Nantz. This is something that no one else is talking about. His instinctiveness. And now Jim Nantz is probably in his late 60s, early 70s. He's up there. He's been around for a long time.
Probably better than our president still.
Yeah, he's more cognitive than that guy.
All right.
Maybe even the last. But so he says in an instant, as he's running, and rewatch the tape if you want to. So Josh is running off to the right. He looks like he's about to get to the guy. Tony Romo is wrapping up something he was rambling about as the play started. So then Jim Nantz goes live into the run. He goes, Josh Allen with the keep. As he said keep, he's already jumping over the guy. Within a half a second, he goes, Josh Allen with the keep and the leap. Boom.
That's awesome.
Like,
with the keep and the leap.
Like, how Johnny on the spot do you have to be to give that type of annotation? Like, it's incredible wordplay.
That's crazy.
A legendary call, and that would not have sounded that good if anyone else did that game besides Jim Nantz.
You're telling me that the slide-in wouldn't have made that call? I
no,
fucking hate
Collinsworth.
that goddamn guy.
So he's doing the game this weekend because we're playing Sunday night football
yeah.
against Green Bay, and I could have sold the tickets that we have, which aren't even that good of tickets, for like well into the $300 or $400, and I didn't because I didn't want to stay home and listen to Collinsworth through the game.
That's a good call.
So I'm going.
It's a good fucking call.
So I decided to go. So anyways, right after that, he landed. Right after he gets up from it, it's like a little moment of silence in between that incredible call from Jim Nantz, and Tony Romo just goes, I mean, he's an alien. And he is.
You're right. I fucking forgot he said that. He did fucking say that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, and it's true. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, you can get into the arguments of who's the greatest quarterback of all time, who's the best quarterback right now. I would put Mahomes there. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later on when we go through the divisions and the outliers and stuff like that. But just the eye test, when you look at a guy like that, he's 6'5", 240, and he's jumping over people and running faster than almost the running backs that are in the game. Come on. That's an alien.
Yeah. And even besides all that, when he gets hit hard, he gets up smiling, pointing and laughing.
Yeah.
Saying, ha, you thought you got me. I still got a first down.
I mean, if he's not an alien, at least he's a psychopath.
I love every minute of it. I'm surprised he's number 4 on your list, to be honest. I thought he was going to be a little bit more up there.
I didn't want to be biased.
You didn't want to be that guy?
I'm gonna readjust my list because I had one at number 1. I had Michael Phelps.
No shit.
I did. I think he's like easiest case to say he's an alien, but to sake of it, we already talked about him. I'm moving him to 3.
All right.
I mean, he is an alien.
He is an alien.
He's probably the number 1 alien on the list. That the fighters that you had, besides fighters, he was your number 1 non-fighter alien.
100%.
So I think that unanimously we could agree: Josh Allen, Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, aliens.
Aliens. Yeah.
Now I'm going to go to a player that not many people know about in a sport not many people watch: hockey. Okay.
Not many people watch, really, dude. Okay, I know I don't watch that.
Or Sweden.
I know they're not pulling NFL numbers, but they're pulling significant numbers.
There's four professional sports in America. 4 major professional sports, as they call it. You can guarantee every single year the least watched professional sport that there is hockey.
Yeah.
It's regional. It's mostly made for northern regions because it's colder, and that's where if there's any American players, they come.
Have a fucking
no.
I thought somebody.
Miami technically does. It's Florida, the Florida Panthers, and then Tampa. Tampa's great. Tampa loves hockey. Reason why that people go to those games, not just that they're good, is all the snowbirds that come from like fucking New England and New York.
Gotcha.
They all move down there. They still love hockey, and their team's really good. So it's a no-brainer. Even the people that are from there can support that because they're fucking nasty.
Yeah.
But
so who you got?
There's a certain player that has come out recently, and I'm still sour that he didn't get picked by the Sabres. Connor McDavid is right now.
That sounds Irish.
He is Canadian, probably Canadian Irish, I'd assume. Yeah. I will at this point.
Does he have an orange beard?
I think it's like halfway through brown and orange.
Yeah.
I would say that he looks the part of Irish. He sounds the part of Canadian, and
that's fucking awesome.
And he plays the sport.
Yeah.
Like an alien.
That's awesome.
Okay. Let me ask you this, just as a guy who's never played hockey or if you watched hockey.
I've watched hockey. I know the rules of hockey.
What would you say, and this is just coming from my opinion of what I think is, what would you say is kind of like the most important part of being a good player in hockey, besides like skating? I will take that whole thing out. First of all, before we get into that, I just want to point out the fact that they are doing 2 different skills at the same time. It's skating and a sport at the same time. If you ever try to skate, the hockey players out there understand this. It's like learning to walk and then learning a sport while you're learning to walk and then incorporating that into the sport. So, like, besides skating, what would you say is, like, the most important thing?
Puck handling?
Puck handling. Yeah.
Is that a good one? I don't know. I would say puck handling and sportsmanship is always up there for me.
I like that. That's a very genuine answer.
Yeah.
Truly, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he embodies the point of being like, the face of the league, if he could be.
Yeah.
If the NHL actually marketed themselves right, and Gary Bettman finally left the fucking spot of being the commissioner of the league because he's a pudgy little piece of shit and he's ruined the game of hockey. He's done nothing to advance the game. In fact, he's done worse at advancing the game. I know that they're going to be on ESPN, but there's my one little rant about Gary Bettman, you fat fucking loser. Thank you for allowing me to say that.
You do what you gotta do, man.
Connor McDavid. The fact that he can do the things that he does, and I don't know if we can get a link in here. Maybe we can. If not,
I'll figure it out.
I'm going to throw in the Connor McDavid career highlights tapes in there because, to be completely honest with you, what this guy does at a level and speed, because skating is a part of it, as I had mentioned before, he is so fast. And he flies past everyone. Easily the fastest skater in the league when he wants to be. You can't touch him. He slices through the best professional players in the world like they're pylons at speeds that no one else can go. Hand-eye, boom, boom, boom. That was what I was going to say.
Where did this kid come from?
He's from Canada.
Yeah, but where?
He's the truth.
The truth?
Oh, he's the best hockey player that's ever been created. That's why he's an alien.
All right. So where does he hail from?
Connor McDavid. So he's from the same. Or no. That was McKinnon. I want to say he's from Ontario. I'm pretty sure he's from Ontario.
Where's Gretzky from?
Gretzky's from also Ontario.
Ontario, okay.
Yeah, he played out in the West though. He played a couple of juniors in Brantford. Yeah, Brantford.
I'm just asking because I've never heard of this kid. Yeah. So I just
Richmond Hill, Ontario.
Okay.
So
what's his backstory? Did he go to college? I hope not.
No.
Good.
No. He spent his childhood playing ice hockey against older children. Yeah, I mean every single time he was playing, like he got the you have to get to play in the juniors up there, the OHL, which is the top junior league. It's almost consider it almost like a mixture between the minors and college football or something like that. It's like the next level.
Okay.
You don't go to college; you go play juniors,
like USFL.
Yeah, like when you're 15 or something like that. So
all right,
you got to get like an exemption in order to play when you're 15. You have to be 16 to play juniors, but if you're so outstanding at hockey, you get an exemption. He clearly got it. Okay. So he was the player of the year.
Of that league?
Yeah, like when he was 15.
Of the whole league.
Yeah.
Not like of his team, but of the whole goddamn league.
Oh, yeah. His OHL career concluded 2014-2015. He recorded 120 points. Let's see. Won every single trophy.
A hockey player recorded 120 points? What were the years?
So I think that was through like maybe a couple of seasons. The OHL is only about 40 games or whatever.
Bro, but you're talking about 3 games or 3 goals a game.
Oh yeah,
at 120.
Dude, you want to see something?
That's
though?
Insane.
So I didn't put Wayne Gretzky on this list. You could say it, but he just doesn't. He was probably the next closest thing to an alien, but he played in a time where like defense and goalies weren't as good as they are right now, and he was still the smartest and best player that's ever played the game.
I tried not to go back too far because
me neither. Yeah,
that's the whole point. Is like you go back, you see the standouts, but it's because nobody did it like them before.
Mm-hmm.
So when people started doing that, I think you have to evolve again. And I think it's just an evolving process. So you see the standouts, they figure it out that, okay, this is what he did to win. I'm going to mimic that. And then people exploit that and figure out, okay, this is how I'm going to beat that style. And then, boom, we get another style.
Yeah, it's always constantly changing. The style of the game, the era, depending on when you're from.
The only thing constant in life, change. Get used to it, bitches.
Shit's always changing. Constant fucking change.
But yeah, all right, so Connor McDavid is a fucking alien, and he's badass. We're going to have a link of his
I mean, the highlights from the last few years. I mean, the what he does and how it's always kind of been portrayed. And you don't even have to be a hockey fan. They don't do a good enough job of putting him on TV in America because he plays for Edmonton. Okay? He should have went to the Sabres.
Mm-hmm.
We got Jack Eichel. They got him. And still sour about it. Because Jack's no longer here, but we still won the trade with Vegas. That's a story for another day when the Sabres finally get back to the playoffs. But look it up. I mean, Connor McDavid is easily the greatest hockey player, athlete that's ever put skates on besides maybe Apollo Ono from the Olympic days of the speed skaters. Those guys are nuts, by the way. He looks like a speed skater, though.
Yeah.
This guy looks like a speed skater playing hockey, and he's doing these moves at a ridiculous level, and then he just makes it look so easy. And he does that against the greatest players in the world. I mean, just look up the highlights of him just taking the puck from one end of the ice. It's like Bobby Orr shit. Bobby Orr back in the day was doing it against fucking plumbers and fucking electricians, as people will say. But he really wasn't. Bobby Orr is a goat.
Okay.
Nowadays, everyone's at the highest level. Everybody is, McDavid gets the puck. We have to do this. We have to do that. You can't do anything. You can't stop him when he's on that game. And hockey's very difficult to be good every single play, every single time, just because of the chance the puck's going to hit some fucking skate or stick at the split second that you were trying to do something else.
Ice that you just gouged in there. You never know.
Oh, yeah. But the reaction time, the hand-eye coordination, while you're flying around at speeds that really no one's ever skated at in hockey before. Alien.
All right.
So number one. We moved Michael Phelps out of it. Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger fucking Woods, y'all.
Really, bro?
Yeah.
Is that because his name is Tiger?
Different. Just different.
He's built different because his dad was different.
His dad was crazy.
Yeah, that's why he's built different. He's got fucking psychological trauma.
I take the fact that Tiger Woods, when you talk to him now, especially, or like in any type of like interview situation, whether he was on painkillers or whatever drugs he had taken at the time, he just doesn't seem human. What he used to do in the game of golf was insane. He just was different. He made people now respect the fact that you can smoke the ball 350 yards, make the next shot, and hit a fucking 20.
But I also think that is just another connotation about us saying that we don't want to go back too far. He was just doing things that people weren't doing.
He was winning so much at like the age of 23, like just different.
Yeah, but did he just figure it out and now other people figured it out?
Yeah, he's like a cyborg. He'd be like a cyborg type alien that can perfectly read every single thing.
But now
then he lost it.
But now everybody's doing that shit.
Yeah,
so
he started it.
But I don't consider that an alien.
You wouldn't consider it alien?
No, well, if everybody else can do it, then...
Okay, fair enough point. Consider this. He is known for...
Is that a YouTube thing? Consider this. I don't remember. Or is that like a Bill Nye Science Guy thing?
Consider this. When IMAX... No, it's a commercial for fucking Energizer batteries. No, Duracell.
Duracell? Okay.
Are all batteries made the same? Consider this. When your dildo runs out and you can no longer use it on your wife, who can't find pleasure with you without it. What's the number one battery you rely on? Duracell.
Dum, dum, dum.
Yeah, that's what that one comes from.
Okay.
But anyway, consider this.
All right.
Similar. Tiger Woods has been reported to have an absolute massive fucking unit. Just a fucking walrus cock. And the only reason I know this, and it could be bullshit, because it came out of, where did that come from? Howard Stern. Howard Stern, after that whole prostitute thing blew up.
Okay.
And where
the
these
back window got
scattered? So I heard
okay.
there was crazy stories that came out of that. Like there was they had all these like really high end call girls.
Do you just want to talk about Tiger Woods? Is that what this is all about?
I mean, it could, but like it's just like the alien part of it all, just like how he was so like inhuman throughout the entire thing.
He was very inhuman. He had no emotion for this whole shit.
So he would what these people were saying is that and these were call girls like high end, so they were like celebrities. The one chick was like, yeah, I've slept with Michael Jordan, I've slept with famous actors, Bruce Willis, like people like that. Like I've been with a lot, and Tiger was by far the biggest and by far the craziest. He was into some crazy shit. And the weird part about it is his favorite thing to do, even though they said every single one of the girls that they had on there on the Howard Stern show said he was by far the biggest they'd ever been with, like just unruly big. And they said he was into mostly just watching. Like he would just sit there and he would watch other people do it, and not even like you think like like jerk off to it. No, he just would pay people to have sex, and he would just sit there and watch.
I'm not. Well, I guess that kind of makes him an alien.
He's too damn good, and just too I don't know. He's better than everyone else who'd ever played golf in his prime. This is also to go to show you that aliens do age. But nowadays, he's a worn-out alien.
Gotcha.
He doesn't do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Guess what happened? He's only won one major since.
Yeah.
He's lost that side of him. I think, personally, if Tiger Woods ever wants to win another major, he's got to go back to the Greek orgy type of shit. He's got to go back to being who he is. A weird, sex alien that's into all this crazy shit that he lost his original wife to. I get it. Gotta be tough. But he gave birth to a baby alien, the cub, Charlie Woods. And you never know. That kid looks nasty, by the way. Charlie Woods, his son, is going to be a problem for the PGA Tour. He's 13. Still goes out there and the father's sons.
He's going to go PGA? He's not going to go live? You think the PGA is going to still be around when he's ready to go?
To be honest with the live thing, I can see that eventually coming to the point where PGA has no choice but to let them do both.
Yeah.
Because they'll just lose out. I'm worried about it going to the PGA Championship next year, that these guys might not be able to even go. You're going to miss the biggest stars in the world because they're still stubborn.
Yeah.
And the fact that someone else thought about paying them more money than you ever did.
Yeah.
They make a lot of money. PGA has made a lot of money off these players over the years. The big stars, the Tigers, the Rorys, the ones who get the video games named after them, they're fine. They're okay with staying with the PGA because they're one of the 1% who gets really all the riches. It's not just about the endorsements or anything like that. These guys they run it. Whatever they need, all the media attention's always on them. Dustin Johnson, great golfer. Did anyone really ever give a shit about him before he was with Paulina Gretzky? No. And he wants to go make his money.
You're losing me, bro. I got nothing.
He wants to set his children up forever. Yeah. So there you go. Originally, I had Michael Phelps as number one. I think we honestly could agree that any athlete besides that fighter that you talked about, who literally could be an alien, Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
I think Michael Phelps is easily probably the most alien-like just because of the way he's built. He looks fucking weird.
He's a fucking pterodactyl.
Yeah, he's huge wingspan, tiny torso. Someone said one time that he was literally born genetically made to swim. He was just
I can see it. He's a fucking mermaid.
Really?
Kind of bullshit.
Okay, so was it in a lab or in a galaxy far, far away? We don't know, but there we go. Top 5 aliens, athletes. I think we had a good list.
Let us know whose list you think is better, and let us know your top 5.
Yeah.
LeavingEarthPodcast@gmail.com.
Hit it
up. Twitter. Leaving Earth Pod.
So before we go into the divisional game, where I gotta get a quick update on my man Beej's fantasy football team. Now, like you said, the Bills were off last week, so it's a tough loss.
Tough loss.
But how we doing?
I am still in second.
Yep.
Second to only the guy that beat me the fucking last week, asshole. But this week, all my boys are back.
All the boys are back.
Josh Allen, Greg, what's his? It's not Greg. Gabe Davis, that's his
Gabriel.
name. Singletary, all these motherfuckers. Goddard are all back. So,
Gabriel like Peter.
And that was their bye week, so everybody's fucked for the rest of the goddamn league. Let's go.
Yeah, I would say the problem is when you have it stacked onto one team, it's not always a recommendation to have, but unless it's a great team with a good offense.
I think I nailed it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have huge upside when you take guys from the same team who have a good offense. So, and how many do you know when the playoffs are for that? Do you guys usually start that probably week 15? It's different now because I would
say week 15 because then you got 16 and 17.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, you know what we do now in our league because now there's the 18th week.
What? Now there's an 18th week?
Oh yeah. There's 18 weeks. They play 17 games.
Okay.
So
yeah, so I guess 15 because then you got 16, 17, 18 now.
Yeah, unless they don't play it the last week.
Well, it says playoffs. Hang on.
So actually, what they usually do, and what we did for our league this year in the 18th week, and we usually had it wrap up in the 17th week, but now we moved it, is you have a toilet bowl. So you just put, and they have to be players who are playing. So you have the winner of that week is just one team who has the lowest score. Who of players who are actually playing wins money. So
okay.
You just put in your worst lineup and hope it sucks. And the guy who won it last year, we just had our fantasy football mid-season party or whatever. He goes, I put in my lineup and I won. That's how bad I was last year. I just put my regular starting lineup in and lost. Yep.
Oh, that's terrible. But yeah, so I think so I have 3 losses on the season, 4 wins. Guy in first has 6 wins, 1 loss. I think at the end of all this, your boy's going to be number 1. Yeah, I really do. I feel it.
You got the Alien on your team. You got Josh Alien, which, by the way, they're making T-shirts.
Yeah, what was it? The day after the game, we thought we were going to do the top 5 Alien, and then boom, Josh Alien comes out. Like, that's crazy.
Good looks, Tony Romo. I think it was it Buff on WEF or something like that? I don't know. There's some random guy that does T-shirts. He's Bruce Almighty on Twitter. It was perfect, and it was it's the name Allen, and then the second L was crossed out with red, and it was replaced with an I, and there's a little picture of an alien on it. I was like, could have done better with the design, but it's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
It happened. I go, that should be his nickname forever moving forward. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
He is Josh fucking Allen.
All right.
So with that, leading into my little outlier section, you got the standings.
I've got the standings up.
Perfect. So I think I've had a theory, and it's kind of come to me recently within the last few years, that every division in football is either built the same, succeeds the same way, or just has so many similarities to it, and it kind of attributes to where they fall in the standings, usually, whether it's all the way at the bottom or all the way at the top. So there's always kind of one outlier in a division that's very similar in some type of way. So to start, I have the AFC East and the Buffalo Bills, obviously at number 1. If there's one type of thing to describe that team or the entire division, it is defense wins championships. And solely from the fact that that's a mentality that's honestly probably outdated from how offensive that the league is right now. They have 3 coaches in that division who are defensive coaches. That's their specialty, because obviously every coach goes back and forth. If they're an offensive coach, defensive coach, they have 3 defensive coaches. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of this mentality. And the teams are actually doing very well. Like, no one would have thought the AFC East, besides Buffalo and maybe Miami, would even be relevant into the conversation. And all of a sudden, the fucking Jets, come out of fucking nowhere.
I mean, you can pretty much erase the Patriots.
Yeah, you almost could. You really almost could. But for this one,
Fuck
I said,
you, Belichick.
Fucking Billy. Bill looks like he's had better days, and his time may be coming to an end.
Yeah.
But defense wins championships there. Buffalo Bills, number 1 in yards and against points. It's kind of unfair. I mean, you see who they've played so far. Obviously, that shouldn't stick to the end of the year. If it does, I'll still be pretty fucking amazed. But at the very top of the division is Buffalo, number 1 in yards, number 1 in points. Then you look at the Jets, who came out of nowhere. You wonder, how the hell could that happen? Like, Zach Wilson, in between banging moms, throws a football here and there. His elusiveness is actually really good. I've seen, like, the last couple of games, like, when he plays, he runs out of the pocket, gets out, he gets away from people. It, like, kind of looks a little Josh Allen-esque, but then he goes to throw, and it's like...
See, I haven't seen many Jets games, and the ones that I have seen are on the Red Zone channel, where they always have to come back.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yes, granted, they do come back and they win, but why did you have to come back in the first place?
Yeah. I mean, it shows a mark of a good team. You can start slow, end well.
Yeah.
It's worse than starting hot, ending shit.
Yeah.
So
Which the Bills are known for.
Yeah. This year they've kind of figured it out so far. I won't get too ahead of myself because it's still, a third of the way into the season, pretty much. But the Jets, they rank 8th in yards against, 10th in points, so like their defense is solid. Miami's kind of the outlier here just because they have the offensive coach of the division. But they have really, really good defensive players, like great guys either in the secondary, when they're healthy, a decent line, but they have this offensive coach. And it's when Tua is healthy, clicking.
The big nerd on the field that's all out there.
He annoys the hell out of me at press conferences, too, dude. He just seems like a fucking whiny ex-girlfriend. Now that Tua's healthy, a lot of that is alleviated because he doesn't have to answer the same fucking question every day.
And he's not in the spotlight.
He is
Tua's
like...
in there.
Oh, yeah. He is the definition of like new age coach now. Like,
did you watch that game with Tua, by the way?
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah,
the night game. Yeah,
with the
Steelers.
The Steelers. Yeah, that motherfucker was running head first.
Yeah, he was nuts.
Nuts.
He wanted to prove he was built different.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
They are in this instance at this point. That defense or the division that's built on defense, the Miami Dolphins are the outlier, and they're finding success with the offensive coach. They do rank last in defense out of any team in that division, 20th and 23rd.
Even the Patriots?
Patriots, to be honest, even before this week, the Patriots are probably ranked higher. Right now, as of going into week 8, the Patriots defense is ranked 16th and 18th. In those categories, in yards and points. Gotcha. Dolphins are 20th in yards, 23rd in points. So they
fuck me.
It's kind of weird though because their offense is unbelievably explosive, so they can get away with it. But that's the outlier. But it's working for them like that. They should trend towards that for the rest of the division, especially if anything happens to Bill Belichick. His time may be limited, man.
Yeah.
That whole debacle. If you follow the 2 quarterbacks that had played that last game, Bailey Zappi and fucking Mac Jones. 2 not very good quarterbacks, like decent quarterbacks, but probably wouldn't put your stamp of approval on for fucking, franchise style. You could see the parts in both. Patriots are so used to winning, they would just want to label one of them as the next Tom, but don't realize that none of them are.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to watch. It's something that, I had to deal with for 20 years of my fucking life being a Bills fan, and they can't even handle like 18 months of it. Fucking pathetic.
Well, they're fucking crybabies.
Always. And then there's this whole, maybe we'll have to do a follow-up on Wiregate, because apparently one of the throws may have hit the Skycam wire for ESPN. The wire that goes over so the camera can fly over the field.
Yeah.
They're claiming that Mac Jones' interception from that game hit the wire and fell down. Video evidence, there's only one angle that really kind of makes it look that way. It's interesting. I don't know what to think because you can see it both ways depending on what way you're biased. You can say, "Oh, no way," or the Patriots fans like, "Oh my God, it hit the wire! It should have never happened. Call the game." Like you only find out about this because one angle finally came out days later after the game.
I don't give a shit. Fuck the Patriots.
Outlier there, Miami. Wish them well. I could see Miami eventually leapfrogging the Jets to be second place in the division. Bills, that's their division to lose.
Yeah,
they're an outlier in their own.
I will say that as a Dolphins fan, it is Bills' division to lose.
Yep.
And obviously, we're going to be AFC East a little heavy because we are both AFC East members, and fuck everybody else. But anyway, let's move on to AFC West.
Anywho, actually, next one I have AFC. Is it AFC West?
That's on my screen.
That's yours. Okay. Yes.
But AFC West is a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah.
And who else is going to win that division other than the Chiefs?
That's exactly what it is.
Come on.
This one's is an interesting one because I feel like a lot of the other ones would normally be like the outliers.
And I thought fucking that Herbert fucking dude from the Chargers was going to be good. What the fuck happened, bro?
A lot of people did. A lot of people did. This one though, the phrase on this one here, it's easy. You're still looking up at Mahomes. AFC West, still looking up at Mahomes. You bring in a guy like Herbert and unbelievable weapons around him who haven't really been that healthy, but to me, it's their coach as a
Mahomes
clown.
is the Tom Brady of the AFC West.
Yeah, we have a. It's a good point that you made there. Honestly, I was going to say that. So the Chargers, they bring in Herbert. They have all these other weapons. They bring in defensive guys. J.C. Jackson, that sucks. ACL out for the year. That really sucks for their defense. But it doesn't matter. Their coach at the end of the day is not really conceptualizing what you need to do in big situations. So it puts a lot of pressure on Herbert to just be perfect when you have this guy who doesn't really know what he's doing. And he's a defensive coach too. So you got to say that. It's kind of a disconnect there. But then you look at
the fucking best
the Raiders, your team, the Raiders.
Man, they're still in there.
They're there. They're in it like anybody else. They're in it.
Man, fucking Carr could come back and have a hell of a season. I'm just saying.
The story to me, though, outside of Mahomes being the god, everyone looking up to him. By the way, Chiefs, they are the outlier in that division because you still can't beat them. You can't beat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay? That's Denver, though. The story to me is Denver. How fucking bad Russell Wilson. Honest to God, I almost put Russell Wilson on my alien list only because he does not seem like he has any real human emotion capabilities whatsoever.
That is true.
So weird.
He is weird.
Like a just disingenuous weirdo who now is the quarterback worth maybe, I don't know, close to in between what like Josh Allen and Mahomes have, which is like $250 million. Worst offense in the NFL. Dead last in points.
No shit.
Through 7 weeks.
Holy shit. I didn't
Yep.
even know that. Yeah, I don't even think there's much to talk about with the AFC West because they're just a bunch of scrubs.
You said, though, that on the Tom Brady point.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's how it's been. I think they've won the division like the last fucking 5 to 10 years, even before Mahomes was there. They dominate that division. You're still looking up at Mahomes. You're still looking up at Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Nothing there. Nothing changed there.
There's nothing changing.
No. They're still the outlier.
So I got AFC North next.
Yep. Ugly football with star quarterbacks.
Who's the star quarterbacks? You got Lamar Jackson, and then who?
Joey Burrow.
Oh, Burrow's on the Browns. I forgot about Joey B.
And when Deshaun Watson comes back,
they're 2-5.
Who?
The Browns.
Oh yeah, well, the Browns because Deshaun Watson's not back yet from his massage, in whatever the hell is this,
kind of shit.
Oh no, he was the one that was abusing like 26 different massage therapists. He should probably never play in the NFL again, but because the NFL is allowing him to play.
What do you mean abuse?
Oh yeah, the Deshaun Watson. He has like the
bro. I don't know dick about Deshaun Watson.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
No one should know dick about him, even though his dick's been fucking inappropriately sent out to women many, many times. Actually, he also just got pulled over for like doing 95 and a 60.
Nice.
You can imagine a cop pulling him over and like being like, "Show me your license registration," and he hands it over. It says Deshaun Watson on it, and you'd be like, "Huh, okay, probably not gonna let you go." So he has all the court cases. There's like all the different massage therapists that had attested, and the team knew about it when he was in Houston. And I mean, if there's that many people coming out with about the same allegation, like in documented case, like that he was inappropriate during massage. No, he just tried to. Well, I don't know how far it would get. Most of the time, is he exposes himself, tries to pay them to jerk him off, like the rub and tug. But he did it like he did like 30 times.
So he was trying to do a Robert Kraft kind of shit, but got caught because they didn't do that there.
Yeah, or just did it over and over again.
Wow, he just likes flashing his dick.
Yeah, he's like a serial abuser. And they have him.
It's like that movie Observe and Report. The
problem is they gave him so much. They gave him so fucking much guaranteed money.
Yeah.
That it's like no one else. Yeah, no one else has gotten that much guaranteed money ever. And they fucked it up. The Browns suck. I would never support them. They're franchise. They're fucking. I mean, their fans are fine because I feel bad for their fans, except for the ones that make.
They're just a poor ass city like we are, man. I feel bad for them.
Let's put it this way: we had Matt Ariza, who was accused of pretty bad shit. They cut him within 3 days. All right. Deshaun Watson had these allegations out there about him before the Browns ever even traded for him. Okay, no one would want to be associated with him. Not even Houston wanted to be associated with him.
And the Browns just said, "We'll take him.
Fuck it, and we'll pay him the most guaranteed money in history.
Let's go.
We're the Browns." Yeah. So there you go. Star quarterbacks, ugly football, ugly person there in Deshaun. The outlier, fucking Pittsburgh. Holy shit. The Steelers, I'm sorry, Steelers fans. I have very, very good friends who are Steelers fans. You're a great brand. Your team is bad. And I don't know if Kenny Pickett's going to be the answer. Like, I've seen him play in person. He has a couple good throws with Pickens. But at this point right now, it's a question mark. And they have, this is a horrible stat to have, the worst point differential in the entire league, 55.
Wow.
They did lose to the Bills by 35, but that makes up for a good
And then they only
amount
lost
of
to
it.
the Dolphins by 6. That was a sad
fighting.
showing.
They're fighting. They took a pretty bad beatdown in Orchard Park.
Sad showing by the Dolphins. Also, they dropped 5 interceptions, so that's to say something.
Yeah. I think, though, like, to be honest, like, Pickett could be the answer eventually, but as of right now, they're the outlier.
He cannot do it under pressure. I'm telling you right now, he won't do it under pressure.
In my opinion, right now it goes Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Pitt. So Ravens at the top, barely defense. I think the Bengals.
What the North is.
I think the Bengals are going to leapfrog them too as well. I think eventually
The
Joey
Ravens?
Burrow. Yeah. I don't know. The Ravens have lost. I think they've blown 4 or 5 10-point lead games. However many losses they have, 3. They've blown a 10-point lead in that game. That actually, to be honest, I might have realized this in real time. That might make me believe that they should be number one over Joe Burrow because they should have won all of those games.
Yeah.
So Ravens, I'll make this right now. I've said this too as well, just the way it shapes up with the standings. I think it'll be Bills-Ravens in the AFC Championship.
Bills-Ravens, huh?
Just the way seedings go.
All right.
If they make the playoffs, I think this is the year that Lamar makes the run.
That's a terrible fucking year to make the run, but whatever. So what do we got for AFC South?
AFC South. So this is
garbage football, bro.
Bad football, good coaches.
There you go.
I like the coaches that they have. The Titans in the top of the division. Vrabel, former Patriot, kind of a douche, but great coach. I saw a video of him, when this player walked out the field. He was an offensive lineman. They had lost all the other players in the line. He was like the only one still in there. He played hurt. He got up, he played. The lineman was emotional. Vrabel came down the hallway, greeted him, gave him a big hug, and they both just had like a bro hug moment, being like, I'm so proud of you. Yeah. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And he was literally, the coach was literally wiping away tears as he was hugging his offensive lineman. Need more of that.
Hell yeah.
Need more of that.
Fucking A.
There's a difference between being, competitive and motivating and just being a total fucking prick of a coach.
Yeah.
That was like human. It was a human fucking moment that he just hugged the guy, said, I'm so happy.
We need more love in the universe right now.
That's a good
Everybody
coach.
Needs to fucking have more love.
Oh, yeah. Way more love. Vrabel, I've gained so much more respect for him as a coach after seeing that. And I think, every year Titans fans, they talk, Vrabel's got to go. Dude, he's a player's coach. He's a good coach, motivator. Maybe he doesn't have, the ins and outs of like being an offensive coach or whatever. He's just a great guy who's been around the game.
I think our expectations of coaches are fucking
ridiculous.
They're unrealistic.
Everyone wants to be Andy Reid or Belichick. Like, they're not going to be. Everyone wants the next Sean McVay. How's that going?
But even so, Belichick had those... Okay, I'm going to say few good years. Yes, it was a long time. Yeah. But it was a few good years because he had the team behind him. Yeah. And then once you get the team behind you, you have the money behind you. Mm-hmm. So you can keep going with this dynasty for fucking ever until fucking this dude just ups and retires and then goes to Tampa for some fucking reason. Or you're just done. Like, Belichick should have fucking retired when Tom left because then he would have left on a high note. Exactly when Tom won his Super Bowl ring, should have fucking called it quits, bro, because now look at you. You fucking bum ass. You can't do shit.
They never want to give it up. They never want to give it up.
They don't want to give up the power they think they have when they got none.
Vrabel was on those teams, though. I mean, he's a great coach. They're winning. They actually haven't lost a game since they lost to the Bills handedly. But in second there, it's the Colts. Frank Reich. He's getting a lot of trash right now because they can't figure out the quarterback situation. Andrew Luck retired early. They brought in Carson Wentz last year. It didn't work. Let him go. Bringing in Matt Ryan this year. Matt Ryan got benched. This is going to be, going into this week, Sam Ellinger's team. You ever heard of him? Exactly. Okay. I mean, I knew him just because I follow plenty of quarterback stories in sports, but he was from Texas. He's a decent quarterback. But no
Texas college or Texas?
Like Texas. The college.
The college? Longhorns. Where is he from?
Hook 'em. Probably Texas.
Okay.
Hook 'em.
So he's a Longhorn, I'm guessing?
Uh-huh. Okay. So he's coming in now. He's going to be the new starting quarterback. And it's just very bold of Frank Reich to say, because you brought Matt Ryan in. Former MVP. He won the fucking MVP in 2016, 17, whatever.
Yeah, he's a bum now, though.
He's a bum now. You brought him in, though, thinking he was going to be the stud. Do you really? I mean, maybe they thought we're going to eventually move to Sam Ellinger. Who knows? I mean, he's decent. If he was that good, you probably would have already been starting him. But at this point, that's all they have. And what Reich said was fucking classic, because it was like, is it because of the lingering injury of Matt Ryan? He was like, no, we would have made this decision based on performance alone.
God damn. Yeah. Don't even give a man a way out.
Imagine just literally having that as their response to be like, holy shit, man.
What if that fucking like interview was playing in the locker room as he's taking off his shoulder pads, and he just fucking like right here hears that, just like, son of a bitch, this fucking asshole.
He calls him up and he's like, Frank, you fucking motherfucking piece of shit. I'm going back to Atlanta. Fuck this. They got a better team anyway. So Matt Ryan, though, he leads the league in interceptions. I think in quarterback fumbles too as well. Maybe overall fumbles. He's horrible. He's played awful. I don't blame Frank Reich for that. I don't think they should get rid of him. They just gotta figure it out. Their owner is a cuckoo in his own regard. I will say, very outspoken. We should do next episode what happens with the Ursay, the whole Redskins, because they've been throwing some fucking heat at each other. I didn't have a lot on that too as
Redskins?
well.
I'm sorry. What did you just fucking say? Did you just dead name somebody?
Dan.
Bro, you're trying to get us canceled too.
No!
Look, we're both doing it. It is the Washington Commanders.
The Washington Redmanders.
Redmanders? I like Redmanders. Let's do
Washington
Redmanders.
Their owner, they were throwing some heat. He was the first owner to come out and say that he should be removed.
Why?
For just the investigation that he has. I don't want to get into it right now.
Okay.
I know it takes way too long. We should dive into that another time. We'll do a full timeline on the Dan Snyder Redmanders team.
Okay.
And Ursay, who is very outspoken. But I like Coach Reich. Obviously, he was the quarterback for the Bills who led the comeback against the Oilers. Probably the most famous Bills win of all time because we've never won the big one. The comeback where everyone said they were at the game.
Yeah.
It was not Jim Kelly.
Left and then fucking...
Yep, it was Frank fucking Reich. So always have a soft spot for him. He's a good coach. Jags, Dougie Peterson. They're not very good. They're 2-5. Trevor Lawrence is a stud. He'll eventually be a good quarterback. I can't figure out. They're close game. They should win every game. They could be 5-2, but they're 2-5. They just... That comes on the coaching, but that guy won a Super Bowl. So he's got to be a good coach.
I just want to say before this recording, I said we didn't have to go through every fucking team, and this dude is just busting out all of the fucking knowledge that he has.
Here's one team we won't cover.
Who's that?
The Texans, because I don't even know their coach. To be honest, I think I know every single coach in the league besides him. I don't know who it is. Don't tell me who it is. I
I'm
don't
not
want to
looking
know.
it up, so I don't give
It doesn't
a fuck.
matter.
All right.
They're irrelevant. They're the outlier.
All right.
So, on that, to the NFC.
NFC, here we come. Well, fucking NFC East is fucking easy. Fly away.
Fly. Yeah, the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. So, NFC to me is run the ball down your throat.
Run the ball down your throat.
That's old school football. I think you look at the way old school football teams are in the divisions that they are. AFC East, defense wins championships, tough, gritty teams. And then the NFC East also
run the fucking ball
gritty
down
teams.
your throat.
They run the ball down your throat.
Grit.
Number one team, just straight grit. Straight grit.
Detroit. Sorry, they're not in this league.
It's not in the division.
But, gotta love that. What is that shit called? What's that shit called? Hard Knocks.
Yes.
With the coach with you gotta have grit.
Gotta have grit. Yeah. It's to me the difference between the NFC, AFC besides the talent wise is it's almost like the East West in hockey. It's just one's a little bit more grittier, the other one's more flashy. AFC is more flashy, good star quarterbacks, offense, and the NFC is just either shit football or fucking tough. You just got to tough your way through it. And running the ball today is almost archaic.
For real.
It's like sending a fax.
That's the second option nowadays. Now it's all right, how fast can I get down the goddamn field?
Exactly. How fast can I score?
Yeah.
Because our defense is probably not very good. They can stop the guy on their team who is also very good.
Yeah.
So running the ball is an ancient art. But what running the ball does do for you is control the clock.
It controls the clock and opens up the passing ring.
Also, it has to open up the pass too. You have to have somewhat of a running attack, or else it's obvious what you're going to do on the next play.
Unless you got Josh Allen.
Unless you do everything because he's an alien. Eagles 6th in rushing, Giants 2nd in rushing, Dallas 14th in rushing, and then which is actually a surprise because Dallas has two of the fucking most unbelievable running backs. The two-headed monster,
Ezekiel,
Zeke, and Tony Pollard are. I think they're just unstoppable. But they don't. I was amazed when I saw that. I was 14th in rushing. Really? Giants. They got Saquon. He's probably an alien too. Honorable mention. Throw Saquon in there. Holy shit! That guy's built different. When he stays healthy, if he wasn't so injury prone, I'd say it's a guaranteed alien. But because he gets hurt every now and then, his alien card's in question. Washington, our boys, the Redmanders. They're the outlier. They stink. 22 yards rush, 22nd in rushing, and they just, it's just a sad kind of franchise. Again, you feel bad for their fans because they get involved in so much of this fucking drama that's not even in their control. But you still want to be a fan. It sucks. I wouldn't change my fandom if my team went through that, but it sucks. So, I won't spend too much time in there. Eagles are undefeated at this moment. Giants look good because of Brian Daboll, former Bill coach.
Okay.
It's a fucking pipeline, dude. It goes from Carolina to Buffalo to New York. That's the pipeline.
Yeah.
It's weird how that happens.
Oh.
Get into that conspiracy another time.
All right. NFC West.
NFC West. So,
Right? Like,
cuckoo. I have it as the upside down world.
for real.
They are.
Kyler Murray just wants to play video games, I heard. I don't know.
Had to put that in the contract. I mean, how embarrassing would it be when this is your job you're talking about, and you're getting paid very, very well for your job. And all they say is, can you maybe take it a little bit more seriously other than spending your time just playing video games and streaming it so that we know you're fucking playing video games? You can just lie, but you're streaming it for everyone. So they know you're on fucking playing video games. Like, come on. Why is that just like, it's irresponsible?
Do you think he's making more money on the NFL or from streaming?
Now on the NFL. Maybe before he was making more money on streaming.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money to be made in that.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to make some money out of that airspace.
I mean, a lot of money in this, theoretically.
And actually, motherfucker.
But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, esports. If we have another esports bug, maybe we could, plug fucking, who's the guy, Ninja or whatever. Like, they do have like Madden leagues, other leagues like that.
PewDiePie or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah,
that was the original guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't watch these fucking things.
No, but that's what the kids watch. So maybe we have to get into esports.
So do the kids also watch TikTok, and Chinese gathers all of their information, and we're gonna get fucked in 10 years. So keep enjoying that TikTok. See West. We got Seahawks, Rams, Niners, and Cardinals. That's
the upside down. You know what other kids watch besides shitty videos on TikTok?
What's that?
Stranger Things.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new season, so don't spoil it for me.
You know the upside down. That's
the upside down world. Yeah,
that's what we're living in the NFC West. Like the fact that you have Seattle at number 1. People thought Seattle could have gone 0-17. They thought they'd be the first team to ever win a game. 0-17? Yeah, because they had Geno Smith. They got rid of Russell Wilson.
Geno Smith is turning it up, though.
Comeback player of the year, comeback story of the decade. Like,
who the fuck saw this coming from Geno Smith? Isn't this
a
butt fumble?
No one.
What does this guy do?
No. He actually got his jaw. So he used to play for the Jets.
Yeah,
I knew
that. Yeah.
He lost the locker room. It might have even been Fitzy. I don't remember who was the backup, but he lost the locker room to whoever it was that ended up becoming the starter because one of the players, and they're talking shit in the locker room, punched him in the jaw, broke his jaw.
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay.
So we wrote him off. He was a career backup, journeyman, going from team to team. Lands in Seattle.
So is my man Mariota, and look at him now. Biatch.
Oh, we're getting to that one too.
I'm sure you will.
So the fact that he goes there, he goes to Seattle, he dukes out Drew Lock. He wins the starting job over Drew Lock, who is a starting quarterback in Denver, who is now 2-5, and then Seattle's 4-3. They got so many draft picks for giving up Russell Wilson to Denver. And now Denver is going to finish probably with a worse fucking record than Seattle, and they're going to have all their picks. Talk about the ultimate bank robber situation and the triumph story for the coach of Seattle, Pete Carroll, who I'm not a huge fan of, but gotta respect game. Like
that's insane.
The fact that he's been able to do that is insane. Their defense. I will say this: their defense sucks. Like they're fucking horrible. Like last in almost everything.
Okay, so next year they get a defense.
So eventually,
and probably a quarterback with all them goddamn picks.
Gino, play this though. This is what I have. He's the outlier. He has to be the outlier. The Seattle's clearly the outlier in that division. If you told me before the season started, you're in a division with Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford, Jimmy G, and Gino, who's going to be the best team in that division?
Jimmy G.
They're currently third.
Yeah,
and everyone still loves them after they got C-Mac. And that actually happened since the last episode. 49ers traded for Christian McCaffrey and immediately lost, got pumped by the Chiefs by like 21. So far, not working. See how that plays out. I'm sure eventually that'll right itself. That division will go back from upside down. But right now, the fact that Geno Smith is out playing Stafford, Jimmy G, and Kyler Murray is pretty amazing.
It's crazy. We got the North. I think the biggest...
The King of the North!
The King of the North. I think the biggest odd sensation from the NFC North is what the fuck's going on with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, my word.
He has no faith.
That's the phrase. It's perfect. Changing of the guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is beginning to be the changing of the guard, at least right now, at least at this current point. Vikings 5-1, right?
Yeah, craziness.
Now Packers, like you said, didn't start well.
Who's their fucking quarterback? Is
Kirk
it Cousins?
Cousins.
Is it Cousins? I thought it was Cousins.
Fucking Walmart discount Cousins, man. Just like
Kmart double check, discount double check.
The Kmart double check. Yes, that's pretty much Kirk Cousins stands for Kmart double check. So he has the team pumping. Like, I mean, the fact that they're starting to win a little close games. Don't put him on primetime because he'll suck. He's like 3-19 in primetime games or something like that. You can look that one up for real. But the fact that the Packers have just been so bad. The Bears are really, like, not really a contender. I love their quarterback, Justin Fields. They have the same record as the Packers. And then the Packers come to Chicago later in the season. Aaron Rodgers, infamously last year, after he scored a touchdown against the Bears, looked up at the crowd because he always beats them and said, "I own you. I always fucking own you." And that went wildfire. I think it changes this year.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings will just landslide win the division because they're really good. Justin Jefferson, top, maybe best young receiver right now. Not on the Bengals, maybe. But outside of that, he's just unfucking believable. They have Dalvin Cook, good players on defense. They should win the division. I don't see the Packers really coming back over that, and I'm going to call it early and say fucking Bears end up maybe not making a wild card spot, but they'll have a better record at the end of the season, even though they just traded Roquan Smith. Right before the episode, they traded their best defensive player, but fuck it. Who cares? Change of the guard. Bears finish over the Packers. Vikings win the division. Outlier. Lions.
Got that grit.
They got the grit.
They got that grit.
Their grit is one.
Well, you know what they need? They need Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes, love him on our fantasy
that's
teams.
what they
on both of our fantasy teams.
That's what they fucking need, though. He went out for the last two games, and they don't even.
Speaking of Amon-Ra St. Brown, here's your tinfoil hat.
How are we going? Is this another fucking honorable mention?
No, he's not an alien.
All right.
He was taken out of the game because the non-affiliated concussion spotter took him out of the game.
Yeah.
He ended up not having a concussion.
Yeah. Didn't get hit. Nothing. Dude said, "Hey."
Well, he came up wobbly, maybe, but then they said it was a big hit. Let's take him out, and they didn't put him back in. They didn't. I don't know who ruled him out, but he ended up apparently not having a concussion.
That's insane. So I got 1.4 for fucking nothing.
That's sketchy. I mean, I'm sure that cost a lot of people their fucking fantasy game. It could have millions of people probably lost on that. It's like, what? So that's another
What
reason.
were the Vegas odds? What happened with Vegas? Bet you something happened in Vegas.
Exactly.
I bet you something happened in Vegas.
You could look at that now as seeing like this is just another rule where they can control the game. Or someone else outside of the players, the coaches, and the teams themselves cannot control it. You already give enough control to the fucking refs.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. But Amon-Ra St. Brown got taken out of the game. He's on a lot of people's fantasy teams. He probably wanted to go back in there, but he didn't because he was ruled a concussion that ended up not being a concussion from some independent concussion specialist. How is that independent concussion specialist in Miami? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Outlier, Lions, they stink. They got grit, but they stink. And, though the coaches never won a game on the road. I thought that was a crazy stat. It's like,
No.
and 15, some crazy, and a lot on the road.
Shit.
Can never won a game on the road.
T-Rex is going to kill you. NFC South. My boy. I think Mariota's going to take over that division.
So this is my word. It's one word actually for this one. Woof.
That's a great word.
To quote Kevin McAllister, woof.
I love it. I love that. I love that word for this division.
They are a division in itself, an outlier. And it's good to put them last because, in my opinion, worst fucking division in football. And it shows. Only division where not a single team in the division has a positive point differential.
I fucking love that the worst division, and you're saying wolf, also contains
Thomas?
the fucking Tom Brady.
Sir Tom.
Sir Tom.
Yeah, and it also includes your boy Mariota, though.
Yeah, but wait until he starts coming up.
I like the prediction.
He's got to feel it, man.
The Falcons before this past game were the only team that was covering every single week. So they're undefeated against the spread. I think it was 6-0 ATS. And they would be down in these games. Another good factor to have, I tell you, as a team. They go down in this game 14, 17 points, and they come roaring back, either cover or win. Last week they got kind of pumped by the Bengals because Joey Burrow had an insane first half. Again, they're a horrible first half team, good second half team. If their coach can just figure out how to fucking tell his players, adjust on the fly, you don't have to wait till halftime until we come back here and tell you what to do it. Just kind of do it.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah. That whole thing blows my mind too. If you make adjustments at half, why don't you just make them during the game? But yeah, I like the Falcons. Panthers, they shipped off McCaffrey. Bums. Saints, wow. Everyone was really high on the Saints before this. Andy Dalton, actually had a really good fantasy week. But still 2-5. Panthers 2-5. I mean, the division sucks. Tom Brady stinks. Biggest one, they're an outlier of a division. The only team that's not negative in point differential is the Bucs, and they're exactly 0. Same amount of points against. They're just meaty fucking ochre. Yeah. And another stat to go in on how Tom Brady is they have pretty good pass, their yardage per pass is, I think they're 5th or 6th in the league.
But doesn't he also have fucking studs as receivers?
Yeah, they're hurt here and
fuck that.
Godwin is here and there hurt. They bring in. They have. I mean, Evans is nasty. I don't know. He dropped a wide open touchdown, which actually ended up losing me my fantasy matchup. No fucking joke. I ended up losing by the difference of what it would have been for a 60 or 70 yard touchdown by Evans, and he just dropped it. He was wide open. That's not on top. And since that happened, horrible. They lost to the Panthers 21-3.
The worst football team in
after they got rid of McCaffrey.
Yeah.
That is probably the worst loss I've ever seen Tom Brady have, and it's all collapsing, and it's all because his wife is a witch.
You're so dead set on that.
I'm telling you. It's clear. It's clear to me that this has to be some other reason why Tom sucks other than just a little simple divorce. Tom can get over that. Tom can be slaying young girls. He's Tom Brady. Go out anywhere he wants if he wanted to. He's weird. To me, it's just, I think he's lost that mojo. You can see it in his face. You can see it in his performance. And not for nothing, even though the passing yards is good, it's weird to me with a rushing team with Leonard Fournette and a team where you have these, it's built to just kind of mix up. Tom's old. He's fucking 45. Why wouldn't you try running the ball more?
Yeah.
Dead last in rush yards. Dead last. The Bucs.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But they put it all on this guy?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And they have a pretty decent
Tom
defense.
fucking Brady, right?
They got exposed by the Chiefs. I'll say it. They did. And ever since then, he hasn't been different. Ever since his wife had left him, he hasn't been different. I feel bad in a way. Not at all.
Fuck that guy.
Not even in the slightest, but woof. Yeah. Is all I have to say about that division and Tom Brady's performance.
All right.
That's it?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean,
we covered the NFL pretty fucking heavily.
It'll be that's all I really have as much knowledge on when it's coming through at this point of sports season. Hockey season started. The Sabres look good. Had a bad loss last night. Basketball season started. Eventually get to that World Series.
Yeah.
Coming up. Anyone care about that?
What is it? The Astros versus who?
Astros, Phillies.
Phillies?
Something's crazy happening in the city of Philadelphia. Their football team is undefeated, and their baseball team, that's kind of a big underdog, is in the World Series. That's to me, on the next Mortal Sportsman, we'll have maybe a quick recap of
Putin
the World Series.
Shit?
No one really cares. It's baseball.
But does Putin look at that shit? Because that's America's pastime.
Baseball?
Yeah.
You think Putin's in on the cheating scandal of the Astros?
I'm not saying cheating scandal. I'm saying is he looking at Philadelphia because they got to be in the news, right?
Well, could be a little bit of a lenient. Yeah, I mean, so Philadelphia Eagles 6-0.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Phillies
going to the World Series.
Yep. Actually, when I think about it, the Philadelphia Flyers have a new coach. It's John Tortorella, who I will give, if anyone doesn't follow hockey, a full description of John Tortorella on next episode. If the Flyers still have a winning record, they shouldn't be good. But they hired this asshole, this prick, who is a pretty good coach, though. And they started the season off with like 3 or 4 straight wins.
Okay.
They're not good. And he goes, yeah, if you wanted to hire a coach for tanking, you hired the wrong fucking guy. Like, I don't tank. I'm John fucking Torts. I'm paraphrasing, but
all right.
But that's basically who he is. And something's happening in Philadelphia. 76ers suck. They're the outlier. There's always one.
All right. Well, if there are topics that you want us to talk about, hit us up. leavingearthpodcast@gmail.com. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com. Search Leaving Earth.
Hit that Patreon.
Hit that Twitter at Leaving Earth Pod.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, that you'll get
Johnny
connected straight to Johnny Anchors. And yeah, I think that's it, man.
Another good episode, my friend. Can't wait. We'll take, I would say, maybe a couple weeks off for
we might get one more
this
in,
particular pod, but
yeah, we'll probably take a couple weeks off.
But we'll throw one more updates on humanity.
One more updates.
We'll ride into the sunset for a couple of weeks and join you around the holidays.
Yeah. Get a good old Thanksgiving one in, you know?
Yep. Everyone go out there, do their anabolic steroids, their workouts. Have a good week.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Take it easy.
Peace.